Back again, coming at you, Joe and Mike, buildassetsonline.com, answering the question today: how many hours do you guys put into your dropshipping stores? It's an interesting question, and it's not something that we track very directly. And, I want to say at this point, we are down to two dropshipping stores. One does not do very much in sales. One does a significant amount more. One does, I would say, 300 to 400,000 a month. One does 10 to 30,000 a month in revenue. And how much time do we put into each of those, Mike? I would say it ranges. I mean, you put a lot of time into one of them, but I would say for me, it ranges from 0 to 20 hours a month, depending on the SEO activities that are going on.
Yeah, and for me, for the smaller store, it's really zero. We have a VA that basically runs the entire thing. And then for the other one, I'm really just doing managerial stuff. So it really depends. If I wanted to get super productive and like really block down my time, I could probably manage that store in an hour a day, so 5 hours a week. But I'm here, I'm hanging around, I'm answering messages, I'm doing other stuff. So I'm kind of on and off with it as I need to be. But yeah, if I had to really chunk it down, probably an hour a day.
Yeah, but it's not an hour where you're pinned to your workstation and you gotta make sure that you're clocked in, and you're entering the time tracking app, and your boss is gonna be on your ass being like, Mike, you weren't at your desk between 10 and 12. Where were you?
Yeah, exactly. It is nice because I mean, yeah, I can go a day without doing anything. I can go 2 days, and yeah, I mean, it's just really some basic level managing and things that I could really layer myself back from even more if I wanted to. But I think we're at a point now where we're really trying to scale the business and do like a bunch of particular things with it that maybe we haven't done before. So it's more important that I'm keeping an eye on the ebb and flow of things and just keeping my finger on the pulse of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty important. So I feel like when you're involved, I mean this is with any sort of online business that you have. I'll give you a particular example. We have a content site that I'm trying to sell right now, and I never look at it. I never log in. It makes like $200 $300 a month. I never log in. I never look at it. I never check the analytics. And so a few months back, there was this issue where the SSL certificate like expired for some reason, and it wasn't on auto renew. And so it turned out that the site was down for like 3 days. And because it's not something that I check regularly, I didn't even notice it. So that's the extreme spectrum of it. But there's also, like Mike said, when you're making a bunch of changes, you're doing a bunch of things, being tuned into something every day is important, even though it's hard to quantify what the return on it is. Just until when you're not at a steady state because you're doing new things, you're trying to be at a growth state. Having your finger on the pulse is pretty important.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure we'll get into this eventually, but there was another store that we're in the process of getting rid of and selling that we really didn't have our finger on the pulse of, and it was a pretty big store as well. I mean, we're talking between 200 and 400,000 a month for many years, and yeah, it definitely presented a challenge when it comes to growing the store because like I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna look at the ads account, but I don't really know. Say if we sold something and then the order got canceled, that still shows up as a conversion inside of our ad account. So unless I'm having like a big team meeting, because that store was heavily outsourced, we had like a manager and 6 employees maybe under him. Unless I'm gonna have a team meeting and go over, okay, what's the deal with this brand? What's the deal with this brand? Then I can't really make the best possible decisions. I can't be the most aggressive when it comes to ad spend. And it's just something about being involved with a particular store hey, we sold this, we made good margin on this, and there's always just a lot of things can always go deeper, honestly, when it comes to Google Ads, when it comes to drop shipping, because if I was more involved in that one particular store, maybe I'd say, all right, let's go out and get some more suppliers. But I wasn't. I wasn't involved, and because of that, we wouldn't
Yeah.
get those extra suppliers, and maybe some of those suppliers would turn out to be really profitable to add an extra $50,000 a month to our revenue, and so it kind of stayed stagnant for a little bit.
Mike, I think the reason people ask this question is because they
By the
want
way,
to
Joe,
know.
you sound muffled. Is it me or?
I think my mic
No,
is
we're good.
coming
We're
in
good.
pretty good.
Sorry.
I think I think the reason people ask this question is because they want to know how much time they're going to have to spend on their store. And it's hard to give a straightforward answer, but I think you can say you could take away from what we just said here, the more you put into it, the better. There's something about, I mean, look, you could start a drop shipping store, a few hours a week, maybe 5, 10 hours. It's going to be more work in the beginning just to get it going. And then you can reach a steady state of relaxation where you don't have to put many hours in at all. But the more focus you put into something, the more you're going to get out of it, and the quicker you're going to get out of it what you want. So I think when people are out there searching for passive income or semi-passive income, they should realize that the more work that they put in, especially up front, the more they're going to get out later. So you shouldn't go into it thinking, oh man, like, I only wanted to spend 1 hour a week on this, and now I'm doing more than that, so I'm pissed off. Or you got to set the right expectations.
Yeah, and when we were many years ago doing this, and I was kind of running the operations of the dropshipping stores, I was managing maybe 3 or 4 stores all myself, and I really don't think I would spend more than 8 hours a day doing that. And so, number one, as a full time job, I mean, it's really the best case scenario because I don't have to answer to anybody. I'm really just I can determine, if I want to take a call, if I don't want to take a call. I'm the what's the what's the side? I'm the master of my own domain,
Yeah,
and that's how it is. So again, as a worst case, if it's a full time thing to run however many stores it is and generate that much revenue, you're making pretty good money at that point. If you have 8 hours of work drop shipping a day, you're probably making 6 figures profit as just like a salary. And then yeah, I mean, over time we started to hire more people and layer out. And yeah, I mean, I would still be involved, but I'd be able to go on. I went to Japan for like 3 weeks with just one employee running basically all the stores, and it works out. When you're not there to put in the energy, yeah, you may not be able to scale as quickly, but it should be able to maintain itself. And so that's really the kind of the balance of owning an online business portfolio is you have to decide when you're going to put in more energy in order to scale things or when you're going to just let things kind of sit there and maintain themselves.
absolutely, Mike. All right, I think we pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one. So we could spend, but I don't know, and I just want to follow up with this. If we wanted to spend 0 hours on our stores at this point and take it easy, we could do that. Are we gonna do that? Probably not at this moment, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, but the point is that we always have the option to go take it easy if we want to go take it easy. But for
And
right now, we're not going to take it easy.
and so with that, take it
Take
easy.
it easy.